especially from Louis Vuitton, a lot of those 2000s bags are quite ugly, and they really were a part of that era. It's hard for me to go back without looking too throwback. So yeah, I don't know. It was a bag that I never thought I would buy, but I grew to appreciate it, and then I fell in love with it. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. If you love shopping and handbag videos, please like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so I was really inspired today to make this video from Amelia Rose Closet. She did a very similar video recently, so I'll link her video below because yeah, she really had me thinking. I love her channel, obviously. She has the best handbags ever. And yes, so this video is called Bags That I Used to Hate, but then I randomly bought. So yeah, I've bought a lot of bags over the last few years, and my style and taste has changed a little bit. I think when I started buying bags, I was definitely more into smaller bags with like cute logos and you know, bags that made a bit more of like an impact. So my first like bags that I loved were definitely like the Nano Speedy in multicolor from Louis Vuitton, or the Speedy HL, you know, the Chanel Mini, you know, it's very distinguishably Chanel with the quilting and the CC logo. The Chanel vintage backpack, I was obsessed with that. But then as time went by and I bought different bags, I kind of went down different tangents, and then I discovered bags that I never thought I'd be into. And yeah, I'm just going to talk about those random bags today I would have never thought I would buy. The first bag is the Chanel Vintage Jumbo. I remember when I first saw this in real life, I remember seeing it with those giant CC logos, maybe back in like 2015. And back then I really wanted a Chanel Mini, and I remember seeing that Jumbo and thinking that is just so old fashioned and like gaudy. I thought it looked too massive and just like, yeah, a little bit much. I thought the CC logo was a little bit much on it, and it was very overpowering on one's outfit, and I definitely was more drawn to those small cutesy bags. But fast forward to like 2021, I definitely became more of an all-rounded Chanel lover. I'd collected a lot of newer Chanel bags. I started to get back more into vintage bags and watching old 90s Chanel runway shows, and I think upon watching like, you know, Chanel 1995 runway, 1994, like, you know, all the 90s runway shows, I was into like the, you know, the amazing supermodels back then, like Claudia Schiffer rocking the big jumbo. Like, it was just a very nostalgic feeling watching those 90s shows. I kind of grew an appreciation for that oversized aesthetic of the Chanel bag, and I ended up buying a Chanel Jumbo. I bought a few Jumbos. My favorite one was probably the horizontal lines Jumbo with the big CC logo. That to me was like that vibe, that oversized Jumbo vibe, and I would have never have thought I would buy that bag because it was so big, so in your face, and to the complete opposite of what I would have wanted when I started buying handbags. But I grew to appreciate that style because I think part of me wanted to go back to like the 90s and the styles that they had back then. And I was actually surprised because I found that bag a lot more useful than the Chanel Mini. I could fit, you know, my big cosmetics case in there. I could fit a scarf. I could fit sunglasses. It was actually quite comfortable because it was a single flap Jumbo, so not as heavy as a double flap Jumbo. And I loved the look of those like thick gold chains and the impact that that massive logo had on my outfit. It was very throwback, you know, you could wear thick jewelry, and it was very over the top look, but I loved it at the time. I did end up selling it because it became not my style again. I kind of like changed style again, but it was a bag that I grew to appreciate and really like. Another bag that I never thought I would buy was the Sac Retro bag from the Cherry Blossom collection from Louis Vuitton. It wasn't a bag that when I started out my handbag journey, I would have been drawn to, just because it does look a little bit dated. I would say that, like, again, it's kind of a bigger bag. It's got that handle. I was more into like the mini bags when I started, and the only reason why I bought this bag is because I started to grow an appreciation for the Murakami collections of Louis Vuitton, and I started collecting like the multicolor, the cherries, the cherry blossoms, and because this was a bag that fell under that range, I decided to buy it, and I actually really enjoyed wearing it at the time. I will say the quality was exceptional. I loved the opening. I just feel like it had so many details in it. Even the studding around the trim was gorgeous. I loved the motifs of the cherry blossoms on it. I just thought it was so adorable. I found that I ended up selling it because I realized that a lot of these, Murakami pieces, as collectible as they are, they didn't always work for my actual life or style. They were very young, fun, and cutesy, but I don't know, I am still that style, to be honest, but it just always seemed a little bit too throwback and a little bit too 2000s, like Y2K vibe to me. I don't know what it was. So I realized, like, a lot of those like early 2000s bags, I think this one came from around 2004, 2005. They're actually kind of ugly when you think about it. And I know the trend is kind of going back more to those like throwback styles. Like I even noticed at Celine, they're doing a lot of those like 2005 silhouettes like that you saw at Chloe, and those like 2000 silhouettes. But yeah, a lot of them, especially from Louis Vuitton, a lot of those 2000s bags are quite ugly, and they really were a part of that era. It's hard for me to go back without looking too throwback. So yeah, I don't know. It was a bag that I never thought I would buy, but I grew to appreciate it, and then I fell in love with it, and then I realized it was a bit much. So again, I got rid of it, but it was one of those bags that I grew to appreciate. Next bag is the Lindy bag from Hermes. This bag was one that I saw many years ago. I think I saw someone wearing it in the shopping center or something, particularly like the Lindy 26. I often saw women wearing it in like neutral colors, and it's not that I hated the bag, it's just that I never thought I would buy it because it looked a little bit mature, and particularly at the start of when I was buying bags, I wanted cuter bags, like as I said, the Chanel Mini, the multicolor Nano Speedy, and I was more into that. I even was into like some Fendi bags, like the Peekaboo with like flowers, like just more things like that. Like this to me looked a bit more mature. But then as time went by, I grew to kind of appreciate the style of this bag. I really like this kind of a fortune cookie shape, the way it kind of dips down in the center, and a lot of brands kind of do a similar shape, like Loewe, they have their puzzle. I grew to really love the puzzle bag. They have the hammock bag. Even Louis Vuitton has the soft trunk bag, which has a bit of like a dip in the middle, and I just think that design feature, it's very casual, it's very cool, and it's actually something that I started to get the idea that maybe I'll actually like wearing it. And although I think as time went by, my style changed a little bit, and I actually preferred just unique silhouettes in bags that, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Lindy, although I wouldn't say it's a trendy bag. Like I think it came out in 2004. Do I have to research that? But it's not a bag that I feel like has dated that badly. It still looks very relevant. It doesn't look very throwback in a way, so I just grew to like it. I found it very comfortable to wear, and although I didn't really think I would necessarily buy one, as time went by, I realized I really like this kind of shape of bag, and because I picked it up in like a Verso color, it's a bit more my style. It's a bit more fun and cutesy, I suppose. I love how I've decked it out in some twillies and like a matching bag charm, and I just love this color as well in this leather. So I never thought I would buy this bag, but I definitely think because I found it in a really nice color that I personally really like, I ended up picking it up, and it's one of my most favorite bags. So the Evelyn bag is definitely a bag that I was not drawn to when I first saw it, especially in the bigger sizes. I think I was never a huge fan of this H logo. And the H logo from Hermes, and particularly in like the Constance bag, I was never really drawn to it when I first got into handbags. I definitely prefer like the Chanel logo, like the CCs, or even the YSL is probably prettier. I don't know. It's something about this H logo. It's very bold. To me, it seems very mature and like grown up. And I don't know why that is, but yeah, the H logo, I just don't love it. The CC, it's a bit more like feminine and young, I feel. I don't know why I think that way, but H, it's just, yeah, it's very, yeah, I don't know, it's kind of an intimidating logo, so I never really loved the H logo, but as time goes by, I'm kind of appreciating it more a little bit. I don't have a Constance bag. It's just yeah, I don't know if I love the H, but I'm still on the fence about it, you know? Like, maybe I might change my mind as I get older and I feel more mature. Maybe it will fit my style more. But, you know, the mini size, it's been really practical. And the fact is that, you know, you can wear it this way as well, so you don't see the H. And I think this being black, it's quite subtle. And because it's a small bag, it's not as overpowering having this big H on you. Now, I would be open actually to the bigger sizes after seeing more people wearing it. And I think it would be a really comfortable bag in the size 29 or bigger. So I am starting to kind of appreciate the Evelyn more. And again, it's like not the prettiest bag. Like when I started collecting bags, you know, a few years ago, it wasn't a bag that I looked at and thought that's such a cute bag. To me, it looked more like a everyday casual style, like nothing that special. But then, yeah, I kind of see the appeal of it now. It's a very comfortable bag. It's very lightweight. I really like the feel of the leather. I love the colors that Hermes has to offer. I saw an Hermes bonbon the other day. They showed a Rose Sakura mini Evelyn that was on the website. I was just like, oh my gosh, that is so adorable. So yeah, definitely. I think it depends on the Hermes color. I think I'm drawn to certain colors, but the style in particular wasn't something I was initially drawn to. But then I kind of grew to appreciate it as well. And I kind of like how simple and sporty it is. Finally, when I started buying handbags, I was definitely, as I said, drawn to the classic Chanel bags, like with the CC logo. And I never thought that I would buy a Chanel 2.55 bag because of the crinkly leather and the low-key 2.55 lock, or the Mademoiselle lock. But when the 19A collection launched, the Egyptian collection for Chanel launched, I snapped up the mini 2.55 in this stunning green color. Unfortunately, I don't have that bag anymore, but that was such a stunning bag. And the reason I picked it up because it was mini and it was a gorgeous shade of green. When I first bought this bag, I was a bit on the fence. I'm not going to lie. I thought I should have picked it up in red, but then I ended up settling with green. And as time goes by, I realize I'm definitely more into red bags and green bags. So maybe I just knew deep down that I wasn't supposed to keep that bag. I don't know. That would make a really interesting video, actually. Anyways, yeah, so I bought that in green. Actually, I feel like the green was really stunning. But, yeah, I was actually quite surprised by the 2.55 bag because I think there's an advantage to getting the 2.55 over the classic CC logo. It's a lot more versatile for like family events if you want to be a bit more under the radar. Also, the chains of the mini 2.55 are able to double up really easily. It was a really good crossbody bag. It was actually more versatile than a rectangle mini, I found, because you had the 4 grommets. And in terms of the 2.55 bag, I did have one in, I think I had the 226 size in black. Yeah, I sold that bag because I just sold all my Chanel bags. I just went through a phase, guys. And that bag I also found really useful and very low-key. The crumpled calf skin made it a little bit more easy to dress down as well. And I loved the detail on the chains. I just thought it was beautiful, the like etching on the hardware. And that was something that, it was also, to be honest, a little bit more of a mature look. I think when I first got into handbags, I wanted cutesier, youthful looking bags, and then when I got more into collecting handbags, I appreciated the stories and the leathers and the history. And I feel like the 2.55 is one of those quintessential you know, classic Chanel bags that kind of started it all with the Chanel bag craze. So I learned to appreciate the 2.55 bag, and definitely that little green 2.55 mini was one of my favorite Chanel bags. I had a lot of people actually wanting to buy that bag, but yeah, I ended up selling it because I just stopped collecting Chanel. But that was a bag that I grew to love, and it was a bag that I kind of didn't think I would initially buy, but then as I started to get more into Chanel, I learned to appreciate the 2.55 bag a lot more. And also my friend Super Dacob, I think he really influenced me as well, because he has so many videos on the 2.55 bag on his channel. I think it's definitely one of his most favorite bags. So yeah, anyways guys, thanks for watching my blabby video today. I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks Amelia for inspiring me to do this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys on my next one. Bye!